Tēnā koutou katoa. Welcome everybody. Lovely to see you all. Dale Marie, you ready? Thank you.
Kaua, kia ora koutou anō, ko rangi, ko papa, ka puta ko rongo, ko tāne mahuta, ko tangaroa, ko tūmataunga, ko haumia tiki tiki, ko tāwhiri mātua. Tokona rā, ko rangi ki runga, ko papa ki raro, ka puta te ira tangata, ki te whaiao, ki te ao marama, ti hei, mauri ora. Tēnā tātou.
Thanks. Thanks, Dale Marie. Apologies, I have one from Mike Pettit and Roger's online, which we can see you and hear you, so that's all good. Could I have a mover to accept that apology? Thanks, Lou. Thanks, Marcus. All in favour?
Aye.
Contrary, no. Carried. Disclosures of members' interest. Liz.
Yes, I have one. Obviously, GL Events, Mighty River Domain. I just wonder if I should put one in for the Cambridge Rowing Club as well. That's the lease. It's not only because the area that they're not going to lease is going to come into the domain area that I'll be utilising. So just for that reason
we'll
only.
note that. Yeah, no need to leave the meeting for that. Thanks. Late items, there being none, we'll move on to confirmation order of meeting. Thank you, Claire. Thanks, Bruce. All in favour? Contrary, no. It's carried. Okay, confirmation of the minutes of 17 September on pages 10 onwards. Claire.
There was just a minor error about my name on the first page. That's all. I didn't send it through earlier. It's just got St. Pierre.
Oh, so it
Not
does.
Gibbons and St. Pierre.
Thanks, Claire.
We will see that amended. Thanks.
No.
It's a little informal.
Thanks.
St. Clair.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, thank you. With that alteration noted. Thanks, Lou. All in favour?
Aye.
Contrary, no. That's carried. And now confirmation of the minutes of 25 September 2024. On pages 20, 21 and 22 and 3. Thanks, Claire. Thanks, Liz. Put the motion, all in favour?
Aye.
Contrary, no. Also carried, and we can move to item 7, Karapiro Lake Domain GL Vents Limited Annual.
Sorry, was Liz actually at that meeting? Yeah, you weren't, Liz wasn't there.
Oh, that's right, you're in Tokyo.
Yeah.
I was in the beginning, but then
Yes.
Yeah. So I suggest we change that one.
Bruce is going to second. I'll re-put the motion, all in favour?
Aye.
Contrary, no. Carried. Okay, great, thank you. Thank you, Ken.
No worries. I wasn't there either.
Quick, you're not me. So Liz, welcome, and welcome to Alex and Joe, who are going to be speaking to the report, I understand, and yeah, we'll listen with interest. We all have read the report, so but anything you wish to highlight on whatever, that would be great.
So, kia ora koutou. The purpose of a report is so GL Events can present their annual report for you, and that's a requirement of the managing services agreement with them. So I'll pass over to the team.
And look, thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Chair. Appreciate the invitation to attend today. So yeah, we have distributed a report. So of course, GL Events was successful in securing an ongoing contract back in late 2023 for a further 15 years, which for the team actually just provided an enormous amount of I guess, well, huge sigh of relief, actually. Alex was able to buy her first home. So yeah, so for the team, it meant an awful lot to get that length of tenure. So very appreciated. So look, I just wanted to bring both Alex and Joe to the council meeting today, because often you just see me. Alex is our conference and events manager, and Joe is one of our team leaders in the site services outdoors. And both have been part of the GL Events team for a long, long time. So look, we are a 7-day-a-week operation, and as you can see from the report, we're a very busy centre. Our team work 7 days a week. They do get days off, of course, but and when you're in a busy event centre like that, when you go into summer, obviously it's an incredibly busy time. So our event calendar is attached to the report. So you can see going forward what the summer period looks like. We are in a Māori Cup year, so that of course means there's a bit of an extension. But what of course that means for the Cambridge Township and for Waipa especially is, you know, a lot of extra domestic tourism coming into the country, into Waipa really. So that, you know, it benefits a whole lot of businesses, from our supermarkets right through to our accommodation providers, restaurants and things like that. So yeah, it's a full calendar. We're well into it. We've already completed 2 rowing regattas. We had the 100K cycle flyer on the weekend. So we're almost in the thick of it already. So before I hand over to Alex to talk about the Don Rowlands Centre, I was going to just mention a couple of things that we have improved some of the facilities on site. So we are in the process of installing solar lights, outdoor solar lights. So some of them have already been installed, and it's making an enormous difference already in the evenings, and they look really, really good. We also have done quite a bit of asphalting. It's like a recycled asphalt at Gate 1 and Gate 3, which is just increasing the sort of serviceable amount of space that we can utilise during our events. And that's been gratefully received from many of our event hosts. They've got more space now to put boats and things like that. We've got a barrier arm. The first barrier arm has landed at Mighty River Domain. So this is an electronic barrier arm. It's not fully functioning yet, but it will do. So that means that we can manage some of our spaces a whole lot better. It's amazing how many times we open a gate, we try and close it, but it's open again just a few minutes later. So the barrier arm will definitely help, and I think it's something that we're looking to hopefully increase the volume that we've got on site going forward. As always, we're really keen to work with our neighbours. We recently had our lake users meeting, which involves a number of event hosts as well as all interested parties. So we had an excellent attendance. About 50 people turned up to that meeting where we talk about any key issues. But it's also an opportunity for some social activities between neighbours and key users. Often you see friction, between those who are creating the noise and those that are having to live with the noise. So it's really important, and we do 2 of those annually to make sure that any issues are raised really openly. We continue to work with Mercury, obviously a hydro dam right next door. That has, quite big implications for us as a business. But for our event hosts and for our events on the water, holding a certain lake level is really, really critical. You can't have an aquatic event if you don't have any water in the river. So we work with Mercury quite regularly in that space, but also with local iwi. Just want to acknowledge Ngāti Kōriki Kākura, who have the Te Manua Matariki room on site in the Sir Don Rowlands Centre, but always working, with iwi to ensure that the history of the site is recognised and acknowledged, and due respect is always given. I'll just hand over, I think, now to Alex to talk about the Don Rowlands Centre for a little while.
Thanks, Liz. So just sort of highlighting with what Liz has said, we do get a wide variety of events at Sir Don Rowlands Centre. It's something that keeps it dynamic and interesting. We've recently just had the Waikato Patchwork and Quilt Symposium, which I don't know if anyone saw, had a lot of attention in Cambridge as well. And they ended up having their main gala dinner with us on the Saturday night, which was a great event. We've also had the NZ National Powerlifting event for a week, which was quite an exciting event. First time that we'd had it for that scale as well. Going forward, we've got Waipa Home and Leisure Show coming back to us, and we've got plenty of Christmas parties booking as well. Ongoing wedding inquiries. We're very popular in the wedding market because of the capacity that the Don Rowlands Centre has got. We can do the big numbers, you know, sort of 450. And obviously we've got the beautiful lake for photographic moments for bride and groom as well. And then, yeah, so large dinners and corporate events as well that frequently use us during the week. Start of next year, we've got Bigfoot returning, which is a school group that are using Don Rollins too. And we've just had NZ Country that are doing a tour of the North Island, confirming that they want to hold a music concert with us in May. So that's another exciting event for us to host.
I heard that was Kenny Rogers.
No.
No? No, oh, okay.
Yeah.
If he's
so-
still alive, I don't know if he's even still alive.
So yeah, so lots of broad range and versatile and, you know, different types of events that we hold.
Great. Okay. Look, it's just some of the, I guess, key issues while we're here, and that is, I might as well raise the clams. So, you know, if you have to choose between clams and hornwort, I'm not even sure which one is worse anymore. I've always been told that you probably would be better off having clams than hornwort. But anyway, look, they're both problematic, exceptionally together. Now we're really going to see, I think, in the next 5 years, the full effect of what the invasive clam is going to do to our river system. So we play a really important role. We know that at the moment, MPI have advised that we are the only part of New Zealand that has this invasive corbicular clam, and it's our job to make sure it doesn't go anywhere else. So every single event that we host, we have a team on the ground who ensure that every boat, every vessel, every wetsuit is cleaned to their standard, to the MPI standard, Biosecurity New Zealand, so that we don't transfer any clams, any minute thread of clam to any part of the country or any other waterway. So that's a really big job. We're going into our second season. So obviously we had last summer, and we're going into our second season now. Hornwort is always difficult. LINZ, we work with LINZ regularly to ensure that our funding continues to hold, and I guess it's a annual, depending on money, spray program. So the only real spray that can be utilised effectively is Diquod. So we've got a spray, usually, we will have one, usually it's held before Christmas. Really mindful of the National Waka Ama event, which is held in January. So we've got to time that spray program really, really well to ensure that a number of, I guess, the smaller paddlers, younger paddlers especially, don't get all, with the hornwort, it's very easy to fall out. It's very easy to get caught in some of that weed. So especially for our international events as well, if we have any hope of bringing any more international events to Mighty River Domain and to Lake Karapiro, we've got to make sure that we keep that hornwort under control. It's very, very difficult because weather conditions in the Waikato are very good for growing hornwort. If you were a farmer of hornwort, you would be a zillionaire. If we could sell it, we would have no problem. But unfortunately, no one wants it. It's highly toxic, and no one wants to. And there's no cows that will eat it either. So it's a very difficult issue to maintain, and quite costly as well. Look, and just finishing up before we take any questions, look, we're always prioritising new events, always looking for new events to bring to the domain. That's, a key part of what we do. It's probably fair to say that our summer season is really back to back. Every weekend we will have not one, but often 2 or 3 events. So we're really just filling up the shoulder seasons now, and, open to, any funding options that are kind of available to us. So the central government have a major events fund. It's important that if we're bidding, that we can have access to that. That's been problematic over the last few years. And obviously, post-COVID, I think there's definitely movement towards trying to bring international events to New Zealand. We want to be part of that. We've got the facilities, we've got the infrastructure. We've already done a number of international events in the past. So what we want to do is just make sure that our infrastructure and our facilities are maintained to a really high standard, so that we can be in the running for any potential opportunities going forward. So that I think that's me in a nutshell. So happy to answer any questions from me or Joe or Alex.
Yeah, thanks for that, Liz, and great to meet some of your key team members as well. And I think Liz was talking to you, Marcus.
Oh,
about that,
yeah.
About the clam thing, washing your. Excellent, that's what I wanted to hear. Do we have any questions for Claire?
Yeah, thanks. Really enjoyable read, Liz and team. Yeah, thanks. And you can obviously, I think it's pretty clear that you guys are doing a fantastic job, and thank you for that. I actually picked up on page 5 about the savings that you're making with your traffic management plans. Like there it says, each event you're saving $50,000. I'm so pleased you've been able to work out a system where you can still, keep everyone safe with traffic and yeah, like that's amazing. I don't know if you want to talk about that, but I think
Yeah.
it'd be so frustrating about those sort of overheads that you've got to, be responsible for, and yet you found a way, to do it.
So we were lucky that there was a change. There was a change at government level around traffic management, and that occurred about 18 months ago. Now, there wasn't really any event venues around the country, I don't think, or anyone really willing to trial something different. Traffic management, there's a huge amount of risk involved with that. However, we've got one road in, one road out. So along with our traffic partners, what we did was we got together with staff, and we thought we'd simply had a trial for the summer season to check that it was actually going to work. So we took away all the road cones, we put in electronic signs, big, bold electronic signs, which we hired, which, was very cost effective. And through just simple signage, and sort of essentially moved away from a traffic management plan to a traffic control plan. So that was, I guess, highly successful. We saw great improvements, actually. We didn't have nearly the backlog of cars on Mangatotiri Road that we had seen before. But what was even better for the event hosts were the savings. So the savings, those costs have always landed on event hosts directly. And look, some of their event traffic management plans and staffing was in excess of 50,000 for, let's say, Māori Cup week or Wakaama week. So yeah, these savings have been significant. So we're rolling out the same plan again for this year, aren't we?
Yeah, brilliant, awesome. Phil?
Just a comment or a question around the clams. What measures have been taken, maybe more of a regional council, but within the domain there, measures taken with regards to boats going, speedboats, recreational boats going in and out of the lake? And the reason why I'm asking that, I've been down to the Rotorua lakes with a good friend of mine fishing and things like that. And each boat, there's a chain across the ramp, and each boat has to be viewed by a ranger or a caretaker or whatever, and tick the boat off and things like that. What sort of measures? And I said I wasn't sure what was happening up our way. So what measures are taken to that extent, or what have you, with boats going in?
Yeah, so there's a different approach, I guess, that we've taken. So you're talking about probably Te Arawa Lakes and Rotorua, who don't have the clam, and we do. So there's a very different approach. So so for any other part of New Zealand, they've got to keep the clam out, and there's been some great proactive work from local iwi, mostly actually, through Biosecurity New Zealand, who essentially you've got to prove you don't have anything travelling with you before you enter into their waterway. So our role is to make sure that people are leaving without anything. Now that's really difficult because you cannot see necessarily a small thread, which is a baby clam. You can't visibly see it to the eye. So the checking your boat, cleaning your boat and drying your boat, and look, Joe's been really involved in this as well. I don't know if you want to comment, probably not. But the idea is that, yeah, you're just following that really well-proven method before you leave the domain. But we've got signage, we've got three, three water stations that have water blasters, so that for big events, we've got the ability to ensure every boat leaving goes through that check land dry process.
And the other measure, just quickly, is that the lakes aren't open 7 days a week, only 5 days a week, 4 days a week to some of the lakes anyway.
Oh, okay.
Mine was following on from Phil's, that you've got a lot of private users along the lake. Is it a trust thing that they wash their boats down if they leave the lake? I suppose you can't, pretty hard to monitor that, is it?
Yeah, it is. It is very much a trust thing. Everyone's been asked to do the right thing. I guess the big thing is if for a lot of our neighbours, they are just simply using our waterway. That's it. They're not moving to other regions. So the minute that you're moving to a different area, that's where your risk, the risk really increases. So, yeah, but you're right, Bruce. It's very much everyone's going to do the right thing here and do their bit.
Dale Marie.
Tēnā koutou, and I'm not sure if we said this to you officially, but ka nui te mihi kia koutou i tō koutou mahi i te mōna toxic clams. Yeah, I don't know if we said officially to you guys on your response, that was faster than MPIs between Karapiro Domain and iwi, and the response that happened when we got the notifications about it. So ka nui te mihi kia koutou. Joe, pewhia whakaro i te Māori i a Karapiro, he pai, te whenua me te moana, ai kaura nei pai.
Ai rā,
Ai rā.
tātou nei mahi e painga. Yeah, I guess we just do what we have to do to make sure our
Keep a balance.
yeah, to keep that balance. Yeah.
Rawe, ka pai, kia ora koutou.
Thanks for that. And I guess no more questions. We'll move to recommendation on page 24 that we receive David's report to receive Liz's report. Dale Marie will move. Thank you. Susan will second. All in favour? Contrary, no. That is carried. Thank you very much. Okay. Finance report. So we welcome Nada. Hi. Well, the financial report for the period ended 30 September.
Good afternoon, everyone. Got the results for the 30th of September. Our income and expenditure is currently around the 25% of the forecast, which is on track with our target. Our development and reserve contributions are around the 20% of the forecast. Our capital expenditure is 15% of the forecast, so we're tracking slightly below target on that. And our rates, we currently have 637,000 outstanding from prior year and 818,000 for the current year. Our water rates, we have 1.2 million owing, and we have invoiced 1.4 million for the year. I'll take the rest of the report as being read, and if there's any questions.
Thanks, Nada. Claire.
Yeah, thanks, Nada. I'm looking at page 4 of your report about the key risk indicators. Yeah, and I see that there are 3 red coded KPIs for the percentage spend for community services and also property. I just wondered if you could give us a bit of insight as to what those are and if there's any major concerns with those.
I would have to go back and have a look and get back to you on those.
Yeah, thanks.
Yep.
And then the interest rate has recently been reduced, for the OCR. And I just wondered whether or not there's been any more thought put to, what impacts that might have, for our KPIs and things like that. Because I know there's been this reduction that's only a couple of weeks old, but I've seen some commentators say that we can expect another reduction in November as well. Like, have you got any comment on that and what that might have for our finances?
Yeah, look, it's look, I don't know if I could give you a real substantive comment, but look, I mean, the market intelligence is certainly predicting, a relatively sharp drop. We did just do a short-term borrowing deal this morning for $10 million in terms of pulling in some extra money to fund some capital projects. So that has happened. That was done on a short-term basis. That was I believe 4.1%. So so that's so and that's obviously less than the average here. So so look, we watch the market obviously and borrow at the relevant rate. So
Thanks. And then my last question was on page 7 of the report. So that's that appendix 1, because it mentions the Houchins detention ponds is one of the unspent balances carried forward. So I'd appreciate a bit of an update on that, because I actually thought that that work had been completed. We were sort of told that it needed to be done pretty much without delay, and I just assumed that it had all been done. Yeah. It's on that last paragraph 2 on the second line at the end. Yeah. Be good to get an update on that, on the status of that and why it hasn't been completed.
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
could.
Yeah, I can go back and
Check that.
have a look at
Just one other thing too, I didn't pick it up earlier, but on that page 4 that Claire was looking at, the box above the interest rate thing, it's got project renewals, projects, 100% renewals, projects, 80% level of service, both in the red. And then there's project 70% growth, which doesn't seem to be on the chart at all. So Ken's going to sort that out for me. Thank you.
Look, so I can answer that. So this is very much just the property and support services space, where there are no growth related projects. Unlike the infrastructure areas.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
Thank you.
So it's not applicable in this case. Yeah.
Good. Okay. Any other questions? Note that being the case, I'll move to the recommendation, which will be on page 37. Could I have a mover, please? Thanks, Dale Marie. Thanks, Claire. All in favour? Contrary, no. That's carried. So we're going to move to, thanks, Nada. We're going to move to the leases, on which we have a substantial number. Hi, Angela.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for having
been
me.
very busy.
Yeah, I have been very busy, you'll see. Getting more than my 5 minutes of fame, I think, today. So I'll try and keep them short and sweet for you.
It's great to see the property team getting on top of these. And
Yeah, and going forward, but once that backlog is kind of done, you won't be seeing quite as much as me as you have been in the last couple of months. So I'm really happy to take these as read, if there's no objections, and to take questions on an individual basis.
Liz.
I was just going to move actually the first one, the play centres. I thought, report looked thorough. I was happy to
Happy to
do it.
second it.
Wow, you fight it out.
Former play centre member.
Awesome. Go for gold. Yeah, I think I can claim that as well, actually. Thanks, Angela. So that's the recommendation on page 49, A, B, and C. So we'll have move and second. Are all in favour? Contrary, no. It's carried. We'll move to item 10. Yes, the Scout Association of New Zealand.
I'm not a scout, but I'm always scouting things out, of course, but as I'm outdoors quite regularly, then I'll move.
Happy move, Philip. Thank
Yes.
you. And Bruce
I'll
will second.
second, as an ex-scout, I'll second.
Absolutely. Very appropriate, Roger. Thank you. All in favour?
Aye.
Contrary, no. It's carried. And we'll move to item 11, the Te Awamutu Squash Rackets Club. Susan.
I'm a poor squash player. I said on the executive side to chair this is a conflict, but I am a past mover, so I will. And I suggest. Because you did come and play in a business house game. Yes, moved to pickleball. It's grown up.
All right. I have a mover and seconder in our Mayor and Marcus. All in favour?
Aye.
Contrary, no. It's carried. And item 12, the Te Awamutu Rod and Custom Club.
I'm happy to move that one.
Lou's going to move this one. Seconder, please. Thanks, Bruce. All in favour? We're on page 72 here, recommendation. All in favour?
Aye.
Contrary, no. That's carried also. Cambridge Netball Centre Incorporated on page 79 and the recommendation on page 80.
I'm happy to move as a former netball player.
Yes,
Netball player.
I'll,
Come on.
I will second that.
Mike,
Thank you.
Mike, you need to get into, you're a netball player. aren't you? Put me down on the next one.
Is
All
Mike,
right.
is Mike an ex-netball player?
Possibly.
Who seconded it?
Who seconded that one? And then Liz. Thanks, Liz. All in favour, please say aye. Contrary, no. That's carried. And item 14,
Yep.
Cambridge Rowing Club. Yeah, Mike's got this one.
Nice. I gotta share it
I
around.
think we all got a conflict of interest here, but I'm an old boy, but I'll second it.
Okay, Mike has moved, Monty's moved, Philip seconded. All in favour? Contrary, no. It is carried. We're getting close, team. The tab 15, Order of St John Central Region. Oh, shoot, I'm in the wrong place. Hang on a sec. Sorry, who's moving that? Dale Marie?
Yeah.
Thanks, Dale Marie. And a seconder? Lou? Okay, I've got that. All in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Contrary, no. Carried. Thanks, Angela.
Thank you all
Wasn't
so
too hard,
much. That's
really, was
brilliant.
it?
Yep.
You said 5 minutes of
I
fame.
think,
I
yeah.
don't think you
Yes.
Did I not
got
even make
5
5 minutes? Okay.
But,
Thank you very much.
But I would like to say we do recognise the time and effort that's put in to get these right. So, you know, thanks very much.
Yeah,
Ken.
yeah. So can I just say, just before we go into public excluded, so a number of those leases, I think 3 or 4, Angela, council will see again at the end of the month in regard to, exercising the minister's delegation. So any of those that are on reserve land, you'll just have to confirm them, reconfirm them, with a minister's hat on. So yeah, go.
Sound's gone.
Can you hear us?
Sorry,
Roger?
I had my button off, Roger, my fault.
That's all right.
Right.
So yes, we have a mover in Philip and a seconder in Claire for the resolution to exclude. All in favour?